Today's Bible verse is Isaiah chapter 38 verse 16 to 17. You restore me to health and let me live. Surely it was for my benefit that I suffer such anguish. In your love you kept me from the pit of destruction. You have put all my sins behind your back. When we suffer, we often feel that God is punishing us. We question why we have to go through such pain and anguish. What did we do to deserve this? We may feel like we are being punished for our past mistake or for something we did wrong. However, the suffering of Job teaches us that sometimes suffering is not a punishment from God. In fact, it can be a sign of His love for us. Through our suffering, God can restore us to health and life. He can use our pain to turn us away from destruction and towards Him. When we understand the suffering of Job, we can see that sometimes God allows us to suffer so that we can be turned back to Him. If we trust in Him, He will use our suffering for our good and His glory. You might be wondering how God restored Job. When we think of the way that God has restored us, we often think of physical healing, but there are many other ways that God can restore us. He can restore our relationship, our finances, our health, and our joy. In the book of Job, we see a man who had everything taken away from him. His wife turned against him, his children were killed, and he lost all his wealth. But even in the midst of all this suffering, Job never turned away from God. He remained faithful, and as a result, God restored him. God gave Job back twice as much as he had before. He also blessed Job with 7 more children and a long life. While Job's story is an extreme example, it shows us that no matter what we suffer in this life, if we remain faithful to God, He will ultimately restore us. What can we learn from Job's suffering? When we suffer, it can be difficult to see beyond our pain. We may feel like God has abandoned us or that He is punishing us for our wrongdoing. However, the story of Job teaches us that there is always greater purpose at work, even if we cannot see it. Job was a man who was greatly loved by God. He had everything a man could want: a beautiful wife, 7 elder children, and great wealth. Then in the blink of an eye, it all came crashing down. Job lost his family, his wealth, and he was struck with painful sore all over his body. At first, Job could not understand why such things had happened to him. But as he continued to suffer, Job came to realize that there must be a reason behind it all. Even though he could not see, he knew that God was still with him and would eventually restore him to wealth. The book of Job teaches us that when we are suffering, we can trust God is still in control. He allows us to go through trials and tribulation for our own good, even though we may not understand His plan at the time. When we trust in Him and keep our faith strong, He will see us through anything life throws our way. In conclusion, this passage from Isaiah is a reminder that God's love and mercy are always there for us. No matter what we have gone through, no matter how deep in despair or pain we may find ourselves, He will never leave us nor forsake us. We can always look to Him as our source of restoration and hope, knowing that He will provide for us with the strength and guidance needed to get through any difficult situation. May this verse be a source of encouragement for you today. Stay blessed. Please don't forget to like and comment on the video so that you can encourage us to continue to bring you more daily Bible verse. Stay blessed.